How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and first things first, I'm back in the Crimson Wire room. If you've been watching the videos for a while, you know I occasionally will make videos in here. A lot of times it's easier because of the room. There's always people there, or it's just really hard to do it on a lot of places on campus without it getting really loud. And so it's nice that I set the key for this room. As you guys know, I'm the current digital editor for the school newspaper here at New Mexico State, Crimson Wire. That role will be taken on by somebody else this semester. It's my last semester, so the people that are in charge of it would like for someone to, take on that role this semester. That way it can lead into next semester as well and not have to relearn it right at the start of the year. I'll still be helping write a lot of stories, a lot of sports stories. Actually, currently working on one right now for a game preview for the Delaware game. And so I'll get that posted and on social media and stuff. You guys can go read it. It's free to check out, so might as well do that. I was able to attend the press conference today for basketball, the first one I have attended this year, so really good. Coach Huden was there first, and then Elijah Elliott was after. For football, it was always Coach Sanchez, and he had one offensive and one defensive player with him, so it was all in one, about 20 minutes. Today it was a little separate from each other. That's how they do for basketball. Sometimes there'll be two players they interview, sometimes just one, but it's always Huden. He made a funny joke, if you guys saw it. He mentioned how at the beginning, whenever they start off the year 6-0, 7-0 at home, there weren't a whole lot of people there, and that now that they're losing games, there's a lot more. I think Sam and Nick are usually always there. Sam works in El Paso, then Nick obviously for the Sun News. Obviously I was there today, just because now I'm able to be able to go to them now, and now I know where they are and stuff, and there's some other people there filming and stuff, so he kind of cracked a joke there at the beginning. Pretty funny. He just said at the end he was just messing with us. I got a good talk with him afterward. Pretty cool. I'm gonna ask him some questions, asked Elijah a few questions, so if you guys go watch the video, you'll see the questions I asked. I was just asking Huden how, they're going to this Delaware game, obviously beating them by nearly 30 on the road, how they're going to try to stay composed and not overlook them. I'm not saying they overlooked UTEP last year because they definitely didn't do that, but beat UTEP by 28 on the road and lost them by 3 at home. So kind of wanted to see how you would avoid that, and obviously they're coming off 2 rough home losses that we'll get into. So he gave a pretty solid, response. I think like a 4 to 5 minute response, which goes to show that he really cares and wanted to answer my question. Pretty cool. Haven't talked to him in a while. I think the last time I saw him was prior to the season. So at the games, if you guys have seen me there, I'm working on the sidelines. He was always right next to me. I never want to talk to him though, because I know he's in the game mode. If he were to talk to me, that's cool. I'd say something to him back, but I'm not going to talk to him, and I don't want to mess up his state of mind. He's definitely focused on the game and all that. Elijah came in right after. Got to ask him a few questions. He had 26 points against FIU, had a really good game, stepped it up, his best game of the season high. I believe he had a career high of 40 at previous school he was at. I think I was talking with Lawrence about that. He had a really good game, but unfortunately he was one of the players to miss a potential game-winning shot. Jamel took a shot, early into the 18 seconds they had. And then Jacoby had a putback layup, which he missed off of Kyrie's rebound, passed it him. And then I think we got another board, can't remember who got it, but we got it to Elijah, who was the hot hand, and just missed. He pump fake and missed a 3, and that's his shot, and he missed it. He worked on it after the game. He went back to the court, just like what Jamel did the game previous. So really cool to see those guys, arguably our 2 best players, definitely our 2 best guards, go out there and work hard. Julius Mims is another guy that's up there. I would say they're their 2nd best player. I'd put Elijah at the 3, but at the same time, I still could see those guys interchanging for sure. But again, Elijah's still our 2nd best guard for sure as of recent, averaging nearly 11. Same with Mims. They're both averaging 10.6 to be exact. And then Jamel's averaging 16.6 points. But good news I got from the press conference today, if you guys didn't see it, Julius will be good to go this week. It looked like he was in concussion protocol, took a hard hit toward the end. We did not have him there at the end. Maybe if we had him, maybe he could have got a rebound and scored. He did miss a dunk, but a lot of people think dunks are super easy. They don't always go that way. Just because they always make it look easy doesn't mean it's going to go in every time. So he shouldn't get any flack for that. He's played a couple of solid games, and it'll be great to have him for the Delaware game and in need of a desperate win. I also asked Elijah, this team has a lot of seniors on their team, a lot of guys who have played college basketball for years, and so asking him how he thinks that will help them out down the line. Pretty much saying the thing I've said a lot, obviously they're not in they're really tough spot right now. He's trying to remain optimistic, saying like, hey, it's almost February, and then in March anything can happen. You want to be playing your best basketball by then. Obviously you need to get into the Conference USA tournament. The past couple years, these first 2 years of us in conference, everybody made it. Now that there's 12 teams, not everyone makes it. It's only the top 10. I'm not sure how the layout works, but I'm not too sure. I don't know if it's the 7 plays the 10 or if 8 plays the 9 or whatever it is. But if you get between that 7 and 10 range, I believe you have to play in to, you're in the tournament, you have to play in to, have a chance playing against the top 6 teams. Then obviously if you get that 8 spot, you have to play against Liberty. If you get that 7 spot, you probably have to play against Missouri State or Jack State, who have looked really, really good. But it's crazy because Missouri State and Liberty are right there at the top of the conference right now, and those are teams that we've lost to, 0-3 against them total with the Missouri State losses. But in every game, we've given ourselves a shot to win. I think the only true game we really didn't play good at all was the FIU game on the road. And even on that game, we got within, I think, was it like 15 or 13 with 4 minutes to play. So we gave ourselves a chance, but then just obviously couldn't get it done. Against FIU, we were down by 13, took the lead by 3. And then they went on a 6-0 run to end the game. So it was really unfortunate there. The Missouri State, we were down 17 early against them, both games, and then came back. We're up by 1 on the road, ended up losing that game by 7, and then got up by as much as 6 this past game and lost by 9. So really unfortunate they haven't been able to get those games done. Kind of reminds me of the football team, how they're in a lot of these close games, but they can't get it done, have a really skilled team. I think the coaching is good. I don't know what it is that they can't do to get the win. I mean, the biggest thing is defense, and that just got to keep improving on that. I think that's something that we all thought going into the year. We knew the defense wasn't going to be as good as last year's, but we're hoping that, it could be great enough to get some wins, and it just hasn't. The offense is there. They're scoring nearly 80 a game. They're also allowing over 80 points a game. So it's going to be hard to win any game when you can't play great defense. And Hooten preaches that defense, and he's working hard on that. And the players are working their best too. Everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. So hopefully they can just, keep on improving and putting it all together and try to get some big wins, because right now sitting at 3-6 in conference play, not a spot you want to be in. If they lose to Delaware and fall to 3-7 and lose 4 straight home games, and with 3 of those being consecutive, really not a good look at all, especially when you're playing against Delaware, the worst team in the conference as of now, and a team that you beat on the road by 30. If you lose that game, just not going to be a good look. That is a must win. If they lose that game, it's not going to be pretty. But if you win, you at least put yourself in position to be like, hey, if we win the next game against Kennesaw State on the road, which is a winnable game, you go to 5-6, and even though it's not a great record, that's where they were the past 2 years, and we saw how they ended last year. So everyone counts. In conference, they've won, then lost 2 in a row, won, lost 2 in a row, won, lost 2 in a row. Definitely don't want that trend to keep going. You got to win consecutive games, especially in years previous where we've had 3 straight road games. You got to take advantage of those home games. And I released in that video how it would be scary if they lose all 3, and they're on the verge of doing that. Unfortunately, it really sucks. And then they have 3 straight away games right after this. So you got to find ways to win those games. One of those against UTEP. So at that point, it's like we're going to have a lot of fans there. It's a big rival game. But UTEP, like I've said in many videos, started the year off not so great, and they've been playing better basketball. They're tied with us in conference. They're 11th because we had a better overall record. We had a better non-conference record, which was good for us. But UTEP's playing some good basketball. They beat FIU. They beat Middle Tennessee, teams that we lost to. FIU hadn't had a road win all year, and they hadn't won a road game in conference in a long time, and got that done against us. And we're supposed to be really good at home. That's the way we started. Now we're not looking so great at home. I mean, we're putting ourselves in position to win, but just can't get it done. Also got that big win on the road against Delaware. A lot of people, were saying, oh, well, it's because it's Delaware. But any win against any team is really good, and they could beat us at our home place easily if we don't come out the right way, and we've been playing the way we've been playing. They got to a good start against Liberty, lost by 16. So put up a good fight against them, and coming on the road, they're having a tough spot. They're in need of a win as well, just like us. So just like FIU was. So it's gonna be tough to get these wins. Nothing's guaranteed in this league, and even though we're a really skilled team on paper, I think we are talented than most teams in this conference. We've really hung around in every game. Just got to find ways to pull through and win, and starts on the defensive end. It's great to have all these offensive players and be much improved in that area from last year, but the defense has taken a hit, and it's very noticeable. Coach has said it in many press conferences. Fans have said it. So that's the biggest improvement for sure, and that will help them out tremendously. I know we talked about, both the Missouri State and the FIU game a little bit, but I want to give more description of both games and what they can do to better themselves to win more games in the future, especially this next game against Delaware on Wednesday, because it's the next game, the most important game. It's pretty weird to have a game on a Wednesday in conference play, but we had some Friday games, some Sunday games. I think after this game, the majority of them should be on Thursdays and Saturdays, so we'll see how it all goes. Against Missouri State, like most games, our offense was really good. Jamel Jones had to carry hardcore, had 28 points, season high, did a lot of great things. Had a chance to get 30 at the end, missed a jumper, but Jacoby had a tip in to make it just a 9-point loss. And it's funny because I was actually talking to Lawrence the day before about how the Aggies have won a lot of games, but like the opposing team will make a shot at the end, whether it's a 3 or 2, to make the score look a little better than what it actually was, and kind of happened in Jacoby's favor there. He had a career game, 11 points, 5 of 5 shooting. He's been improving a lot. That's something Hooten said in the press conference as well. He's playing really good. I also wanted to ask Hooten about Sears' performance, because he was saying that the post need to step up, even though he missed his free throws. grabbed 5 rebounds in just 7 minutes, had a layup. Still needs some work to do, but he kind of answered that in another question, kind of was bringing it up. So good to hear some positive things. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sear at all this next game. I'm sure he'll do some good things, and he's had some good games. Recently he's been able to have a chance, and hopefully Augustine Ekway can get out there and get more reps. He's just a freshman. Would be good to utilize him and give him a chance to continue to improve for the future of this team. And Omar Smith, obviously redshirting for us this year. Would be good for him to continue to learn under all the guards we have, and with Gabe and Jacoby coming back, it's a rough spot right now, trying to remain optimistic for the rest of the season and for the future ahead. I feel like on defense, we did our absolute best. I mean, those guys, the effort is definitely there. That's not the problem. Kyrie Smolin and Julius Mims played really great defensively, or at least did the best they could. They might have not played great defensively, but they put up a really good fight as much as they could against Bonsu. He had 21 points and 9 rebounds. Really good stat line for him. He's just a bully, man. He's like a 6'4" center. He weighs nearly 300 pounds of pure muscle. I mean, this guy was tough to stop. I mean, Kyrie and Juice are big dudes, especially me being there on the sidelines. I can tell how strong those guys are. And Michael was just pushing them around, making them look, not strong at all. And that just goes to show you how strong he is and how tough he was to stop. Keith Pillek had 26 points, really good shooter. Just couldn't miss a shot there at the end. Missouri State overall was shooting really, really good to end that game. The Aggies worked so hard to get back into that game. No lead is safe, and it was one of those situations where instead of blowing the lead, they were able to come back, just like they did against Liberty, but then just couldn't get it done. And then same with the FIU game. Got down 13, came back in the shelves, a chance to win it at the buzzer. Couldn't get it done. They've had 4 games this year now where they've lost, by less than 5 points. Had a chance to win at the buzzer and missed all of them. And obviously, to make all of them is super tough to do. But if you could have made all of them, I mean, you missed all of them. It'd be nice if you could make all of them. It'd be 14-5 and be like, what is it, 6-3 in conference. Be reverse what they are right now at 3-6. But even if you just win half those, because obviously you can't expect them to make it all. But if you go 50-50, you're 12-7 overall. You're sitting at 4 or 5 wins in conference. A lot better of a look than where they're at now. When they're in that position again, I'm sure it's going to happen. Would love for them to capitalize on it. Game against FIU is so frustrating. Jamel took the shot, missed it. Good look. Jacoby had a solid putback, maybe pushed it a little too hard, but it was still a clean look that he usually makes. Finished at the rim with ease. Missed that one. Elijah had been on a heater all game. Took a really good shot that looked great, just like his other shots, and just didn't fall. And then off the foul, and FIU made the free throw, and then we turned the ball over, and it was just from there. And FIU got a good road win. Zadie Jackson, former player. I don't know if I should put this out there, but it looked like he was saying something to Hoon after the game, like trash talking or whatever. Which if you're gonna talk trash, that's fine, but do it to the players. Him and Elijah were going at it and saying stuff, and he waved at Elijah goodbye. I'm like, no offense to Zadie, but the dude had 10 points, which isn't bad. It's about what he does, but he got carried hardcore by his teammates. One of his teammates had 27 points, went off. I think it was one of Jamel's homeboys, did really good. Elijah flat out outplayed him, had 26 points. Jamel didn't have his best game, but still had 15 points, outscored Zadie. Got some calls. Gabe Pickens played some good defense on him. So not sure why Zadie was trash talking. Like, it's a great win, against your former team and all that. But it'd be one thing if he didn't play that much here, then now he's getting a lot more playing time at FIU and stuff. But coach started him. He was one of our best players, scored in double figures. So I'm not sure what happened there. Kind of upset with Zadie for that one because he's a guy I got to know somewhat well. Thought he was a cool dude, but for that, I was kind of like, didn't take it the right way. I wish I could talk to him and ask him, why he did that or what made him do that, why he was that emotional about it. I get it's a return to homecoming. It's cool, right? I get that. But he makes it out like, we did him dirty or something. So it didn't really sit well with me on that one. So Zadie, if you're watching this, or if anybody that knows Zadie's watching this, I'm not even mad. I just want to know why he did that or why he thought that maybe, there's something he didn't like about the school or the coach or the team or something. Just like I noticed, and maybe he didn't say anything bad, but it just looked like he was looking at Coach in his direction and was saying something. So I could have asked him that at the press conference, but I didn't want to get controversial. What I will probably do next week at the conference, play against Kennesaw State. Jaden Harris, former Aggie for Houghton, for 2 years, he was here. He's been in the rotation recently with some injuries, so it's been good to see him play. He's not shooting the greatest, but he scored 18 points in the last 2 games, averaging 9 points in those games. So I kind of want to ask Houghton, depending on after that Kennesaw State game, ask him, how it is going against his former players and that experience. Like Lamar Wilkerson, I think that's how you say his name, at Sam Houston last year, had 32 points against the Aggies, and a game that they got. We've also beaten them a few times. Obviously, going against Sam Houston, he's played against a lot of his old players and old coaches and stuff. So kind of want to bring up a question about that and make sure I word it correctly and see what I get in response. I already talked about the FIU game a little bit. It was Corey had 25 points. I think he had 27, but I just fact-checked myself. He had 25 with the free throw to win it all, getting the 3-point lead. Then we turned it over. Could have had a chance at maybe like a half-court shot from Jamel. Probably would have gone in, but I mean, you never know. Could have been like a Christian Cook situation where it almost went in, or maybe we get lucky and it goes in. And, you know, the loss hurts, but what hurts even more, I swear this only happens on the days that we have a chance to win the game at the buzzer with, you know, our own game winner. Every other team and their moms, I swear, like, seem to win a game at the buzzer. Like, that same day against Liberty, there was like 4 other buzzer beaters I saw in college basketball. And then the same day, I think it was Missouri hit a game winner. There was like 2 or 3 other games I saw that there was game winners. I was like, bro, why can't we do that? Maybe one day we'll get it. And like the Blazers too, I'm a big fan of the Blazers. They've lost games at the buzzer a lot, you know, just this past year, and it's been really unfortunate. Maybe that Johnny McCann's half-court 3 was just, you know, all the luck in the world, and we'll never get a game winner again. I'm just being negative, but I think we'll get one eventually, and hopefully we're just not in that situation. Hopefully it's a situation where we're up like 5 or 6 with 20 seconds. We have ball, they foul us, make our free throws, go up by 8, win the game there, or even, you know, we're up by 6 and they get ball and they score. At least they foul us, make our free throws, win the game. Really got to do better in those situations for sure. I think that's going to do it for the video today. Sorry this video took a while to get out. I was thinking about making 2 separate videos talking about the games individually, but maybe I'll just do this new style where since the games are so close, I kind of just talk about both in one video. And on the weekend, I was busy doing my own stuff. Obviously, was at the games working and had some other stuff planned out, but glad I was able to get the video out today on Monday. Been a pretty busy day. I think Mondays are maybe my busy day this semester. Tuesday through Thursday, I have 1 class each day. Friday, no classes. Obviously, the weekends, I have no classes. But Mondays, obviously, get up in the morning to go work out like I always do, as well as I do Tuesday through Thursday. And then I go play some basketball afterward, shoot around and stuff, get some breakfast, shower up, get some homework done, go to the press conference, go to 2 classes back to back, and then make this video. And then, you know, by that time, it's already like 5-ish. So, you know, that'll probably be my new schedule. Maybe I'll get videos out on Mondays, recapping the weekend basketball, and you know, we'll see how that all goes. Make some videos throughout the week. I don't know. If you guys haven't checked out the video yesterday, just the highlights on, you know, former Aggie Keelan Dorsey, really playing well for Western New Mexico. I believe they're like 14-4 or 15-4, and he's been a big part of that. I believe he's actually in Las Cruces right now. I saw him post on his Instagram story that he was out here. Would be cool if I could run into him or something. I've heard, you know, he's been to some football games this year and stuff, and heard that apparently some of my friends ran into him, so that's pretty cool. I was also talking with a guy today. You know, he's playing really well right now at the Division II level. Would love to see him get his opportunity at the Division I level again, and who knows, maybe Hooten makes the call and he returns to play for the Aggies, because, you know, Hooten's had, you know, guys like Anthony come back to play for him. Seen in football, Tatum Barnes is back for the Aggies after playing with them in 2023. Transferred to Cincinnati, didn't maybe get the playing time he wanted, now he's back here. Same with Gabe Peterson. I think he went to Utah State, decided to come back to New Mexico State, and he's back again for this year. Have a lot of defense returning for the football team. Have Trey Hedden coming in from Furman, who was a decently good FCS quarterback. So, you know, we have a lot of, you know, talent coming in. We have some guys from last year's team, PJ Johnson and Kadarius Callaway entering the draft. I know this isn't a football channel, obviously, but thought I might as well just catch you guys up on some news about that. Obviously, this is strictly a basketball channel, always will be, but maybe I'll, you know, update you guys on some of the other sports as well. Make sure you guys keep checking out the shorts videos. I think today, you know, with the Keelan Dorsey one, got like over 5,000 views and has a chance to keep any more. I can't believe I didn't mention this last video, but thank you guys so much for over 900 subscribers. I believe we're at 906 right now. I would love to hit the 1,000 within the next 3 or 4 months if that's possible. I think usually it takes me about 5 or 6 to gain, you know, 100 subscribers. But if I could hit 1,000 prior to graduation, that would be an awesome graduation gift from you guys. We do it together and all that. I think the short videos definitely help out. Trying to get as much content out as possible for you guys. I know a lot of people look forward to the videos. Sometimes people leave hate comments, which is cool, but you know, it is what it is. Please let me know your thoughts on these last 2 games. And you know, obviously there were frustrating losses, very heartbroken because there were very winnable games. Let me know what you guys would rather have. This is a question that might seem easy to answer. Some people have a hard time with it. Would you rather just get blown out by 20 or lose in a heartbreaking way? Because they both suck, obviously. But when you're losing a heartbreak, you know, they give you hope, right? And both those games were down by double figures, and it was like looking like we weren't going to win it. But then we get back and you give us hope, and then, you know, just don't give it that. No, just don't end it strongly. And again, I hear they'd be mad at the team or like the, you know, players, coaches. Obviously, it's frustrating, but like the effort is there. They are working hard. They really want to win. It's just the defense, I think, is the biggest thing. And Let me know what your reasoning is, do you think? Because again, this team is very skilled, there's no doubt. They started the year off 6-0, as we know, and did a lot of great things. You know, first time they did that since 1969 to 70 when they made the Final Four. You know, obviously, I don't think anybody expected this team to make the Final Four, but definitely wish they were playing a little bit better. And I think I mentioned early in the year too, like, hey, they're 6-0, but they haven't won anything yet. You know, they still have a lot of, you know, games left. They're going to go on those cold stretches. Hopefully, they can still finish the year out with 20 wins, and technically that's still possible. So I don't want to change my opinion because, you know, I've done that before, and you know, I'll end up getting proved wrong. But it'd be nice if they could at least finish with a winning record. And even though they're struggling right now, you know, the past 2 years, they lost in the first round of the Conference USA tournament or the quarterfinals because they were already, you know, there. They didn't have to play in to get in. Whereas right now, if it ended today, they would have to do that. But if they can, you know, win a couple of those games and advance, that's at least improvement. But it sucks because we're used to winning our conference. But obviously, Conference USA is a lot more tougher than the WAC, a lot more even. I think the WAC only has like 7 teams now. The first year we were in Conference USA, the WAC was still really, really good, even more competitive and better than Conference USA in my opinion. But the past 2 years, Conference USA has definitely been really, really good in all sports. So that's that. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, got to get a big win against Delaware, a team we've already beat. They have some good players. Even though their record's not so great, they're still a team that can beat anybody. I mean, they put up a good fight with Liberty at first, ended up losing by 16, which might sound like a lot, but honestly, that's not that bad for them. For, you know, the lowest ranked team right now to go against the best ranked team on the road, good win for them. Of course, Liberty gets the home game against them right off the start. It's always like that. I don't think they played against Delaware. I think that was the first thing they played against them, so I think they have to play Delaware over there now. Unless they already played them, I don't know. Maybe they only play each other once, I don't know. But Liberty seems to always get the home games, seems to always get the schedule to work on their side, and they're a great team. I'm not hating on them, obviously. They always seem to beat us and get, you know, so good for them and stuff, but I just feel like they always get, you know, especially in football, they always have the easiest schedule. I believe they still finished with the same record as the Aggies, but if the Aggies would have won the game, would have been ahead of them. Just reminiscing in the past, probably shouldn't do that. Obviously just frustrating, you know, with the teams and how they're all doing and stuff, but hey, basketball still has a winning record overall, 10-9. Again, conference-wise, not looking so great, but if they can lock in on the second half of the schedule, let's say they beat Delaware, go 4-6, and you can have a winning record, the second half of conference, finish at least at 500, if not a little above, like they did last year, that would put them within top 5 or 6, I think, of conference, which is about where you want to be. You never want to play the 1 or 2 seed, but then you're going to play them eventually, probably to get to the championship game. If you could wait to play Liberty until the championship, that'd be great. Have a chance from going from there, because they almost lost last year, and the Aggies almost got some wins. So see how it all goes. Got to start winning these close games. That's going to help them out a lot. And, you know, maybe it's bound to happen. Maybe it's not. I'd like to think positive and optimistic, and I think that's the best we can do as fans. I know it's frustrating. Keep showing up to the games. Honestly, the game on Saturday was a new game. I wasn't expecting there to be that many people, and it wasn't looking like there was going to. And then students started showing up. A lot of fans started showing up. I believe we had even more fans at that game. Apparently, I think both around 5,600, which kind of surprised me because I still thought there were more fans at the Thursday game. Maybe there was. I can't remember the numbers on the top of my head. I know both games were about 5,600 fans, so it'd be nice if we keep doing that. You know, I know it's hard sometimes on those weekday games, but hey, Wednesday night, a little different. Let's get a win, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm out.